EMP jammer detected nearby. System disrupted.
Target ready!
System forward.
I'll get it working!
Jammer destroyed.
Target's still alive. Get around! Movement over there. Here it goes. Right here. Oh, shit. Support station ready. I can do this one.
The damage!
System malfunctioning. System restored.
Take your beat!
Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my Memento armor regen build for TU 11.1. I kind of smashed these two together randomly. I was working on a armor regen build as well as a Memento build, and I just kind of put the Memento on there for a second, and to my surprise, this thing has been a beast. The armor regen on top of the trophies that you get from the Memento, I mean, you got armor for days, and I have been loving it. So I hope you all enjoy and find this video helpful. If you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future Division content. If you are new to the channel, hit me up on Twitter, and be sure to drop a comment down there below. So let's get into this. Alright everyone, and here it is. So as you can see up top there, I'm going to be using the firewall specialization simply because we get those awesome armor kits as well as this amazing shield down here that is going to give me 12% damage bonus per enemy that is in front of me. And this is a great thing because, well, for one, we're going to be face tanking more or less the majority of the time, right? You're going to take a lot of the aggro, and because we have mainly blues on this build, we're not putting out a whole lot of DPS. So any way that we can boost our damage in any way, shape, or form is definitely a good thing in my book. Now, other than that, if you do not want to go with the fire starter, you could go with the gunner, you know, get some armor on kill, whatever your preference may be. I'm just going to go with the firewall. Now, as far as our core attributes go, we have 2 reds, 5 blue, and 1 yellow. we only have 2 reds on this build, and that's just because we have the Memento going. So I'm definitely out of my comfort zone a little bit, but I'm definitely seeing why you guys have been running these armor regen builds. I'm just a little bit late to the game, I guess you could say, but it's still been working out great, and I've been enjoying it. Now, as far as our minor attributes go, we have 4 reds, 6 blue, and 0 yellow. Our armor is at 1.6 million. We have 330,000 health, and we have 1 skill tier, again, because I got that Memento on there. So other than that, let's get on to these weapons. Alright, so for my primary weapon, I'm going to be using the Tactical UMP45. I really enjoy this weapon because it's kind of like the AK of the SMG world, if that makes sense. We have lower RPM, but we have big base damage. This thing takes chunks off. 116k per bullet base damage, 600 RPM with 50 in the mag. As far as the attributes go, could be a little better. We got 2 out of 3 that are maxed, so it is what it is. It's still been working. And the talent that I'm using is Optimist. Weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. So the longer I go without reloading, the more damage I'm going to do. And, you know, those last 10-20 bullets, really, you see a nice damage spike in there. It's really nice to see. Now, in my opinion, I would say go with a damage up talent on your weapon as well as your chest piece. If you do not do that, you're going to feel like you're shooting spitballs. At least I do, coming from more of a DPS player, you know, side of things. Definitely go with a couple of damage up talents and you will not regret it. Alright, so on to my secondary weapon. It is the SIG MPX. I really do enjoy this weapon, guys. I really do. But on a build like this, I definitely feel like it lacks that damage output. We're talking 93.7 per bullet base damage compared to 116. I mean, that is huge, guys. That's day and night. Once we get into the crits and everything starts multiplying, you definitely see that the UMP is always going to take the cake. It is what it is. Now, on an all-red build, something like that, with the RPM and the big weapon damage, the MPX might be the way to go, but on a build that is all blues, more or less, and you really need to just dish out damage as much as possible per bullet, I mean, just every time it hits, take a chunk off, go with that UMP. I still enjoy this MPX, but it is my secondary for a reason. 93.7 per bullet, 850 RPM, 50 in the mag, and we've got some really nice attributes here. We have SMG damage, crit chance, and even some damage to target out of cover with strained. Gain plus 10% crit hit damage for every 5 seconds you are firing, stacks up to 5 times. So, I mean, again, go with a damage up talent on the weapon. That would be my advice, but definitely use the SIG for your secondary. If you run out of ammo, you get into a pinch, pull it out. Otherwise, I'm sticking to this UMP. So, other than that, let's get on to these gear pieces. Okay, so let's start out here with the mask. It is Sokolov. We get that plus 10% SMG damage just for wearing it. The attributes, weapon damage, crit damage, armor regen, and some more crit damage. I mean, pretty straightforward in my opinion. I would say stack that crit damage and armor regen wherever you can, and then just sprinkle a little tiny bit, of crit chance. Don't go overboard with the crit chance, because you got to remember, SMGs come with that crit chance on them, so it's going to be a lot easier to get to the crit hit chance cap, or at least close to the cap, and then just dump the rest into crit hit damage, right? So that when the crits land, they actually hurt, right? And that's just my opinion. That's how I've been running it, and it's been working out nice. Now, moving on to the chest piece here, it is Golan. We have the 2-piece active giving us that plus 10% status effects that I could really care less about. I'm not going into that. If you guys want to, I mean, hey, go ahead, but I'm focusing on that plus 1% armor regen. That's where it's at, guys. Now, as far as the attributes go, we're talking armor, crit damage, armor regen, and some more crit damage. I mean, again, pretty straightforward, guys. Put that crit damage and armor regen all over the place, and you'll be having a good day. Now, I went with a damage up talent for the chest, and I would really encourage you to do the same. I went with Obliterate here. Crit hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacked up to 25 times. So that's definitely a good way to boost that up as much as possible. You could go with Intimidate or, you know, something like that if you wanted, but I just didn't want to do another Intimidate build. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, guys. So I went with Obliterate, second best in my opinion, and it's been working out great. Now, if you don't want to go with Obliterate and you want to go straight tank mode, go with Unbreakable. If you put Unbreakable on here with the armor regen and the armor you're going to be getting back from the trophies from the Memento, as soon as your armor breaks, it's back again, and then they have to go through it all over again. The only downside is your damage lacks big time. An extra 25% weapon damage on a blue build is a big thing. So definitely weigh that in your mind and, just make a decision for yourself on how you play the game and what fits you. So moving on to the holster here, it is also Golan. We have armor regen, and look at that, we got that little bit of crit chance. Just sprinkle it in. Like I said, just sprinkle a little bit in there, and you're good to go, guys. So that's the holster here. Let's go on to these knee pads. Alright, so for the knees, they are Emperor's Guard. They are the named Murakami knee pads. I believe these are only DZ exclusive, so if you see Murakami or knee pads in the DZ, definitely run in there and try to get a pair of these. I actually bought these out of the vendor last week. I got lucky. Someone told me about it, and I had to run and grab a pair. So it's not the best, but it's still been doing the job. I actually took the core attribute and swapped it from a skill tier to armor, and then we have that plus 1% armor regen on there. Gotta love that. The hazard protection could go. That could definitely be some more armor regen. That would be great in a perfect world, but again, I was late to the game and had to buy these, so it is what it is. I'm sure you guys can do better. Now moving on to the gloves here, they are Bellstone. They give you that other 1% armor regen just for wearing them, 1%. And I went armor, crit chance, just a little bit, just a little tiny bit, and some more armor regen. I mean, pretty straightforward on that. So, if we take a look here, we have the 2-piece going, so we're going to get that 1% armor regen. 1-piece Bellstone, another 1% armor regen, and we have the Murakami knee pads giving us another 1% armor regen. So we're at 3% armor regen, and then we have the armor regen all over the place too. So it's been working out nice. Let's get on to this backpack. Alright, so on to the final piece, the Memento Exotic Backpack. I really love this thing right here. I mean, this thing is so versatile. DPS builds, tank builds, skill builds, doesn't matter. You could throw this thing on and it will definitely help you out. It is what it is, guys. It's an all-in-one. Now, we have 3 core attributes here. We have weapon damage, armor, and skill tier. And then we also have a 11.5 crit hit damage mod in there. Just, again, push that crit damage as much as you can. So we get 3 cores on this backpack. I really wish we had at least one attribute on there. I mean, that would have been awesome. Or be able to roll off, say, like a skill tier for crit damage or something or whatever. That would be awesome. But having no attributes kind of hurts you. But at the same time, the talent is where it's at. Kill confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides both a short and long-term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. 5% weapon damage, 10% bonus armor, and 5% skill efficiency every time you pick one of these things up. I mean, that is amazing. For every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. So again, we have a short-term and a long-term buff going on here. This is amazing. The maximum stack is 30, so if you can get 30 stacks on this bad boy, you're doing great. You are just doing phenomenal. I love this backpack. I really, really do. If you haven't tried this thing out or, build together with it yet, definitely try it out. Just throw it on there and see how it goes. I'm telling you, you will be pleasantly surprised. So other than that, let's just take a look at these skills really quick and we'll be on to the stat sheet. Alright, so let's go over these skills really quickly. I'm going to be using the Striker Ballistic Shield here, again, because we get that damage bonus per enemy, 12%. And if I have 2-3 NPCs in front of me, well, you guys do the math. That's a big damage up for me, and I have been loving it. Also, the range is only 10 meters. It's only 10 meters, and you might think that's not a good thing, but SMGs only shoot so far with accuracy, right? So when you see them get into the shield's threshold at 10 meters, you know it's done. You know it's game over. It's a wrap. You're going to just melt them down, and they definitely do not like that. The cooldown is only 18.2 seconds. The health is 4.8 million hit points. I have to say that's pretty good. Holstered regen, 92k per second, and the active regen, 63k per second. I mean, gotta love that right there. We're at skill tier 6, so we get an extra 60% active regen, 250 shield health, 40 holstered regen, and 2% buff strength. Gotta love this thing here, guys. Now on to my secondary. It is a fixer drone. That's right, a fixer drone. I have not seen a lot of people really messing with these on an armor regen build, and I don't know why. Because the fixer replenishes nearby allies' armor. So you can give this to somebody, you can keep it above yourself. Regardless, it's not doing a whole lot of healing at 23,000 hit points a second, but when we add it to, the 66,000, whatever I have on the build itself, and then we have the trophies from the Memento on top, You play your cards right, guys, you're not going down. It is what it is. It really is what it is. And we're at skill tier 1 since we have 1 yellow on there, giving us an extra 20% armor repair and 70% health. Pretty straightforward on that, guys. Now let's go over to the stat sheet. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little recap breakdown here on the stat sheet. Now again, the weapon talents that I'm going to be using on my primary, Optimist, on my secondary, Strained, on my sidearm, Preservation, and we also have some high octane gasoline mixture to play with. Gotta love that stuff there. Now, as far as the weapon stats go, we're talking 116k per bullet base damage, 52 crit hit chance, and 109 crit damage, guys. 109. That makes me sad. That hurts my soul just looking at that. I mean, the crit hit chance is okay, but 109 crit damage, I'm used to like 200%. This is crazy. But again, we are running mainly blues on the build, and we only have 4 minor attributes that are red. 4 of them. That's it. So again, like I was saying, sprinkle that crit chance here and there, and then focus on that crit damage, guys. It is what it is. Now we have 70% headshot damage, a little bit of health damage. The range is only 14 meters. So like I said, when you see them get in the threshold of the shield when you pull it out, and they're within that 10 meters, you know it's game on, and it's a wrap for them. You know, pretty straightforward with that. 2.3 second reload time, nothing too crazy. A little bit of accuracy, stability, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too crazy going on there. Offense, we have 36.3 all weapon damage bonus and 40 submachine gun damage bonus. So those could definitely be better. Well, maybe not since we're running all blues, but it is what it is, guys. I mean, you know, you make the most of what you got, and so far it's been working out really nice to my surprise. Now, as far as the gear talents go, kill confirmed and obliterate. Pretty straightforward on that, nothing too crazy. And the brand sets, we have 1-piece Sokolov, we have the Memento backpack, 2-piece Golan, 1-piece Bellstone, and the knee pads that are Murakami, the Emperor's Guard. Those are key to this build right here. So if you don't have those, definitely go out and try and get those as soon as possible. Now, as far as defense goes, 1.6 million armor. Our armor regen is 68.9, pretty much 69,000 armor regeneration per second. We have max health 330, health on a kill 99,000. I mean, nothing too crazy. A little bit of health regen, blah blah blah, and we have some hazard protection, blind, deaf, bleed, all that good stuff going on down here. So that is about it, guys. We already talked about these skills, and you know, again, just going with that ballistic shield and a fixer drone. Try that fixer drone out on an armor regen build. I'm telling you, another 20k armor regen per second. Can't go wrong with it. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you on the next one.